Hello, I'm Sue-Ching Lascelles. Welcome to Making Happy Things. Today, I'm about to find out if dreams really do come true because I'm going to make one of my dream patterns. I had been hunting for this pattern, eBay, Marketplace, and I kept seeing it come up, but it was always too expensive or it was never in my size. The other day I was in my studio, I was cleaning up a bit, I was looking for a vintage pattern that I was rummaging through all of my pattern stash. Lo and behold, I discovered that I actually already own it and it's in the perfect size. So the one that I've got is large. So it does pay to kind of look at what you have. It's quite a sought after pattern and it's not cheap anymore. It's a classic Calvin Klein Vogue pattern. I think what's making it so popular at the moment, we've got a jorts version and we've got the jeans version. They're not super baggy. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up. There's a vintage pattern website that basically has every vintage pattern, what year it was made, the description about it. So why don't I look that up? Details, the proper details. You know what, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a jeans person. I don't really like wearing jeans and I'm hoping that these kind of turn out baggy. Vintage Sewing Patterns Wiki. Vogue American Designer, which we know Calvin Klein, 1992. So this is an early 90s pattern. I would have said late 80s, early 90s. Radically relaxed fit. Blah, blah, blah. Check your... I've never made jeans that have like the yoke on the back. So, well, the drawing is very tiny, but you can see that's the back view. The jorts version, because, you know, I've been watching Copenhagen Fashion Week and if you didn't catch it, jorts are really having a moment. And I'm interested to reinterpret that in my style and style it for 2025 and see how it turns out. Rather than making it in straight denim, straight blue denim, I'm actually going to use some fancy denim that I've got. It's a dead stock designer and it's been sitting in my stash for ages. It's very, very special and I've been waiting for the project to make it. Look, this is a bit of a gamble. I'm not going to test this pattern. I'm just going to go straight into making the real thing and I'm using the good fabric. So fingers crossed it works out okay. I'm so excited to sew this. It really has been on my wish list for the longest time. I have a very large and wonderful vintage pattern collection and the reality is I probably won't get to sew most of them. And sometimes I don't actually know what I love more, whether it's my vintage pattern collection or if it's my fabric collection. If I had to choose, it would probably be my fabric collection. It is just my happy place. My fabric stash is my happy place. Very close second would be my vintage pattern collection and I get a lot of inspiration and a lot of ideas from that collection, even though I know that I'm never going to probably make most of them. What I've done is I've already traced and cut out my pattern. I went ahead and added just 1.5 centimeters to the pattern. So I redrew the front and back and I just added a little bit of extra just to give me a little bit of extra ease in the garment. I can always kind of adjust it at the fitting stage, but I thought it's always better to have a little bit more than a little bit less. That's my modus operandi. I always have extra, always go more, because if you've cut it too small, like that is worst case scenario. Cutting out a pattern too small, having to add panels back in, I mean, it's doable, it's salvageable, but I know personally I would rather cut something a little bit too big, wear it a little bit too big, have it belted, adjust the size later after the fact. But I do find adjusting retrospectively back smaller than trying to add is always much easier to do. So that's my back panel, cut to add it to the yoke as well, and I will have to add it to the waistband. Let's just make sure I remember to do that. All well and good, and then you just forget to do it when you're cutting it out. I've been there as well. Oh my god, my waistband's too short. I'm excited. I'm cool summer shorts and it's gonna look stylish. I'm gonna make it stylish. So that's what we're aiming for. It's a new day. I'm excited to get making. I couldn't start the project the other day because when I started to think about sewing it, I realized I didn't have my thread. This is my top stitching thread. Metla. It's like a thicker thread and it's a little bit thicker. I'm going to use a black one. My jeans needles ready to go. So I'm gonna pop that onto the machine. Oh, top stitching. Top stitching is so nice. So straight. So pocket bags are constructed. Top stitching done. And then I've basted it on the sides. Stitched the bottom together. Finished it on the overlocker. So that's how it's looking. So that's one pretty decent sized pocket, which is good. It's time for the zipper fly, and I'm gonna have to use like all my concentrating powers to decipher the instructions that are in the Vogue pattern, because they're kind of like not that great. And the gaps with what my knowledge base is, with what the instruction says. Let's do that. The special jeans zipper that I'm going to use in black, and it's 7-inch. I'm going to spend a minute like reading the instructions and putting it in there. I have attached the zip with the fly guard, I think that's normally called. I'm working on this piece now, which is for the other side. Like on the verge of following the directions, I'm sewing the fly, and I don't know, instructions are so damn difficult. I'm about to kind of give up, I think, and maybe look it up on YouTube. Just because I've sewn flies before and these instructions are kooky. Oh, okay, I'm going to persist a little bit further. If it gets to a point where I'm like, I can't make heads or tails, I'm going to default or defer to other instructions just to make it easier on myself. I should be celebrating, but I'm a little unsure. My top stitching is questionable, but I mean, the zipper's in. I have to like throw away the instructions and just go by intuition. There are a couple of little bits where my stitching is not perfect, and that is going to bother me. Here we go. It's a really, it's sturdy. It's good. It's good. But you can see here, I'll just have a look at my top stitching. It's not great, and you can't see it. It gets a little bit lost, but this line only goes to there because the zipper stop is there and I couldn't go all the way in. I might even like hand stitch it just to make it go all the way across. Front pockets are in, the zipper's in, and I feel like you can close that chapter. Okay, can do it. I'll get a snack. Got back pocket. We've got back yokes. Good morning. I'm on day 2 of sewing the Calvin Klein Jorts. I've got most of the hard parts assembled. I've just got to put the front and back pieces together, put the waistband on, and some of the finishing details. I'm going to be done. Let's go. Shorts are assembled. Before I overlock these or finish these raw edges on the side, I'm just going to test the fit. I can always cut a new waistband. It's a really big seam allowance, a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance, so there is a little bit of room. Before I go ahead and finish that seam, it's good just to check the fit, because I can always change the waistband at this stage rather than later. That's a good idea. They're excellent. I love them. A little bit of that paper bag waist, which is what we're going for. I love the fabric so much. What a relief. Like when you sew something that you've never sewn before and you sew it in the good fabric and you're just like, oh my god, I hope this works out. Oh, I'm so happy with these right now. They are just so good. So good. Shorts of summer. So before I go ahead and change out my top stitch thread again, because like this project has been just so much changing thread, if you're not prepared for it, it's not for the week. It's like top stitch, regular thread, top stitch, regular, top stitch, regular. So thankfully my machine's actually got a double thread holder, so I can have both sitting there and I can just kind of switch them out. Did a terrible job of sewing that. Worst top stitching ever, but they're just the belt loops, so it's fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. My waistband's too short by lots. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. It needs to be like 4 inches longer than this at least. Possibly 5. Okay, I'm gonna cut a new one and I'm gonna do it like 5 inches longer. I don't know what happened there. Okay, fast forward. I have redone the waistband and I've added plenty of length to each side. I've restitched the label and I'm gonna now try and attach it and hope there's enough length. Silly, I didn't check beforehand. But I added plenty, please don't be wrong. Surprisingly, I am back for day 3 of making the jorts. What I got up to was I sewed the waistband on and I attached some of the belt loops. Well, all of the belt loops. And that was not very easy. All I've got left to do is actually put on button and buttonhole and the rivets, so the hardware. And I'm going to be using the Kylie and the Machine jeans hardware kit, and I've got this one in matte black, which I think is going to look awesome on these. So I'm going to be putting on the denim button, which is just really gorgeous matte black, and then we've got the rivets that go on as well. Kind of hard to see in black, but they are really nice. So I'm going to use my button now to make the buttonhole, and then that's all the sewing done, and then it'll just be using the hammer to put all the hardware in. Actually, can you see it? Turned out pretty nice. So I'm just going to cut that open. Hallelujah! We are on the final step, adding the hardware, and then I'm going to wrap this up, and I can't wait to wear them. Oh, it's going to be so good. So my attempt at installing the rivets didn't go so well. I tried and I tried to get the first rivet onto the coin pocket and it just didn't take. I've gone away from the jorts and I've come back. I've in the meantime contacted the supplier of the rivets, the company who makes them, which is Kylie and the Machine, and they have suggested that I try using, there's 2 types of rivet nails. One's got a screw thread and one's flat, and they suggested that I try using the other one, which is the one with the thread. I was using the flat one, which is what it suggests. So I'm back today and trying to see if I can have a little bit more success, because I do think the jorts would look really nice with the rivets. Nail showing through, so it's got something to grab onto. You take the flat side of this tool, okay, and then we take the rivet tool, it's this one, which is specifically designed, and I think we just do a few bangs, a few hard bangs. Okay, yep. That worked. Okay, so that's on there. Now I know what I'm doing with the rivets. I'm gonna go ahead and finish all the others. So these are the finished jorts, and while I do think I went a little bit overboard with the sizing, these definitely are on the big side. I do want to wear them a little bit more low-waisted, and I was trying to go for that paper bag waist, so I'm gonna add a belt. Let's see if I can get that paper bag waist. Okay, not bad, not bad. Yep. I'm actually pretty locked into the sizing. I don't think that's bad at all, but I think next time I would really like to make a pair that was where I didn't adjust the sizing, because as you might remember, I added 1.5 centimeters to each pattern piece, which will give me like 6 centimeters. 1.5 times 4, that's 6. But yeah, I think they look good. The hardware feels good. They're very comfortable. They were a mission, but definitely worth it. I almost instantly would just want to make another pair. I think in plain denim next time. Yeah.